The world beneath the glass sky was a place of shimmering beauty and ever-present danger. For generations, people had lived under this fragile barrier that stretched endlessly above, protecting them from the cold void beyond. Entire cities sparkled with light reflected from the crystalline dome, and artisans known as glass shapers were revered for their ability to mend the cracks that occasionally appeared in the sky. But no one had seen anything like this. Kai, a young apprentice glass shaper, stared upward in awe and fear. Above his village, jagged cracks like spiderwebs had begun to spread across the once pristine sky. Fragments had already fallen, shattering into glittering shards that scarred the land below. The air was tense with whispers of doom. He had only just begun his training, but the call to action had arrived sooner than expected. Master Aaron, the most skilled glass shaper in the region, summoned Kai to the village center. The old man's face, normally calm and reassuring, was etched with worry. "The cracks are spreading faster than we can repair them," Aaron said, his voice grim. "If they continue, the sky will collapse. You must journey to the sacred mountain where the sky forge lies. Only the ancient furnace there can reforge the sky, but I am too old to make the journey." Kai's heart pounded. The sacred mountain was a myth, a place whispered about in old stories. But now he had no choice. Taking his master's tools, a glass blade and the shard of a fallen star, he set out on the perilous journey. As Kai traveled farther from his village, the landscape became more desolate. Shards of sky littered the ground like broken mirrors, cutting through the earth and creating dangerous fissures. Each day, more pieces fell, and the cracks grew wider. But something else caught Kai's attention. In the shimmering reflections of the shattered glass, he began to see movement, shadowy figures, distant cities that didn't belong to his world. One night, while camping near the edge of a massive crack, Kai fell into a deep sleep, only to awaken in an entirely different place. He found himself in a world beneath the cracks, a hidden realm of light and shadow. There, people moved gracefully, as if they lived between two worlds. Their leader, a woman named Elira, explained that they were the fractured, those who lived in the spaces between the cracks, unseen by the surface dwellers. "You see us now because the barrier between our worlds is weakening," Elira said. "The cracks that threaten your world also threaten ours. We have lived in harmony with the sky for centuries, but now it crumbles, and both our worlds will fall unless it is restored." Kai realized that the fractured had their own knowledge of glass shaping, techniques long forgotten by those on the surface. With their help, he could reforge the sky, but the journey to the sacred mountain was even more dangerous than he had imagined. Kai and Elira, along with a small group of fractured artisans, continued toward the sacred mountain. As they approached, the ground shook, and entire sections of the sky collapsed behind them. Time was running out. The mountain loomed before them, its peak hidden by clouds and shattered pieces of sky. At its summit lay the Skyforge, a massive furnace said to be powered by the breath of the stars. But it was guarded by ancient creatures, glass wraiths, formed from the fallen shards of the sky, who defended the forge from those unworthy to use it. As they climbed, Kai and his companions faced harrowing battles against the wraiths, whose bodies could reform with every blow. It was only by using the forgotten techniques of the fractured that they were able to bind the wraiths in cages of light and glass, trapping them long enough to reach the summit. At the summit, Kai stood before the Skyforge, its massive furnace dormant and cold. In his hand, he held the shard of a fallen star, the key to reigniting the forge. But there was a price. Elira revealed the final truth. To reforge the sky, someone had to become one with it, fusing their essence with the molten glass that would seal the cracks. It was a sacrifice that would end their physical existence, but would ensure the survival of both worlds. Kai knew what this meant. He had been chosen not just for his skills, but for his willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice. The sky continued to shatter around them. The cracks reached far beyond the horizon, and entire cities began to crumble. With no time to lose, Kai stepped forward, placing the shard into the furnace. The forge roared to life, its heat so intense it threatened to consume everything. But Kai, using all his knowledge and the guidance of the fractured, began the delicate process of reforging the sky. As the molten glass flowed from the forge, Kai felt himself merging with it. His body dissolved into light and glass, his consciousness spreading across the cracks in the sky. He could see both worlds now, his own and the world of the fractured, intertwined, dependent on one another. The glass formed a perfect seal, mending the cracks and reforging the sky into something even more beautiful than before. Elira and the fractured watched in silence as the last of the cracks disappeared. The sky was whole again, but Kai was gone. His sacrifice had saved both worlds, though his name would be remembered only in the whispers of those who knew the truth. Far below, the people marveled at the new sky, unaware of the struggle that had taken place. In the shimmering surface, they could see reflections of the world beyond, the fractured, living as they always had, just beneath the surface. The sky was whole, and both worlds were saved, but Kai had become a part of it, watching over them forever.